Hello and welcome to my video on Azure Blobs, part of the storage series. If you like this video and find it helpful, please subscribe to my channel and like the video. This video and many others like it are available on computerchess.com. So today I'm going to be talking about the blobs aspect of the storage account. These are REST-based object storage for unstructured data. So this essentially means this is files such as pictures, Word file, executable, any files such as that are stored in that way can be used on this service. So the advantages are it's quick to deploy, extremely quick as you will see in a minute. Private or public access is available, and you've got a choice now of the hot access tier or the cool access tier. So the hot will give you quick access and the cool is for files that you don't anticipate that being used that regularly, and this gives you a cheaper option. So let's jump into the demo. Okay, so now I'm on the Azure portal, and the first step is to create a storage account. So as you can see, I've not got any here yet, so we will need to create a new one. This will have to be a unique number. The deployment model I'll keep as Resource Manager. The account kind, I'm going to drop that down to the second version. Just keep East US as my location. The replication, I'm just going to choose locally redundant storage at this time. You can also go for geo-redundant storage or geo-redundant storage with read access, but for the purposes of this demo, I'm just going to keep it as locally redundant storage. If you want to get an explanation of all of these terms, you can click on the small I there and then click Learn More, which will give you a full breakdown of that explanation. The performance, I'll just keep the standard access tier as hot. I won't worry about the secure transfer at the moment. So the resource group, just create a new one and then click Create. You should see a notification to say that it's provisioning it. Okay, I'm just going to pause the video here while that deploys. Okay, the deployment has been successful, so if I refresh this view now, we can see this is our storage account. If I click into this, okay, and the first option is Blobs, and that's the one that I'm going to be choosing today. Now the first thing we need to do to get started is to create a container. I like to think of this almost as like a folder. So create container, first container. And it's important here to note the access level. So by default it's got private, so that means no anonymous access from anyone outside of your subscription can access these resources. If you do choose Blob, anonymous read access for blobs only, or anonymous read access for containers and blobs, this will give essentially people access to your content that you upload from the external internet, so it's important to learn the differences between these options. The blob would give you just the blobs only, and the container will actually let you view everything that's in that container or folder. So again, if you want to click on here, it can give you some more information. I'll keep mine private at the moment, just as we're doing this for the purposes of demonstration. Okay, that deploys pretty quickly. Okay, so we can now click into the container. And it says no blobs found. So the first thing I'm going to do is upload a file to show you that from within the portal. Okay, so to upload a file, you simply click upload. We'll open this pane here, and then the files will open up the file browser. So I can choose just simply here, I've got a JPEG file that I can load as an example, and then upload. So we'll give you the status of the upload, and as you can see, because that was a small file, essentially it was uploaded instantly. So we can just come out of here. Now it will give you the contents of your blob here. So it's possible to do other things once you're in here. So I can show you, if I come back out to the container, so this essentially gives you the list of the containers within that blob storage. So I could add another one. And this time I'm going to make it grant anonymous read access. So the first one is private and the second one allows anonymous access. So let's upload that same file to here and I can show you the difference. That's done. So if I just go back into the first one now, what I can show you is the create snapshot aspect of this. Okay, so with the snapshot capability, this essentially lets you take a snapshot of the file at that point in time, so that if, for example, you were to be uploading a new version of it and decide that you want to revert back to the original one, you could revert back to the snapshot that you previously created. So if I click on create snapshot, it will tell me that it's successfully created it. And then once I then view the snapshots, it will have a list here, so I could highlight that one. And I've then got the choice to download that particular file at that point in time, promote that to be the current version, or I can delete it. So I'll just delete that now for the time being. Okay, the next piece I'm going to show you is how to access the files. So I'm going to head back to container. Okay, so I'm back at the list of containers here. Now what I will show you is how to access the files. So I will start with the easiest one, which is the public one. This is the one that allows anonymous access that we created. The second one created. I click on the file. It will then give you a URL. And click to copy that into the clipboard. Once I then paste that into a new tab, it will simply load. So this is me accessing that file. Anybody can access that file from the intranet, and I could, for example, then embed that in my web page or use that asset any way that I see fit. So if we then head back to the list of containers again, and if we click now this time on the first container, which was the one with the private access, I'll click into the file again. Still gives you the same URL. This time, however, if you try to access it, it will essentially say that it does not exist. We do know that it does exist, but it's just not possible to access it in this way. However, with shared access signatures, it is possible to share this asset with somebody for a limited amount of time. So if I create generate SAS, it explains here that shared access signature is a URI, and it gives the access rights to that particular resource. Again, you can click here to learn more. So if I just choose read, now for the start time and expiry, I can, for example, make this just for the next, say, 5 minutes or so, so you don't have to leave it as this longer access. So I can choose here 24th, and then I can push that out to 23, say 35. And then you could then, for example, have a range of IPs or a particular IP from which you will only accept requests. I'm not going to put that in there for the moment. And again, it asks you which protocols are allowed. So, and here it asks you which signing key you're going to use, so you've got a choice of key 1 or key 2. So if I now create that, it will give you here the URL the same way that it did before. So I can copy that. So now, instead of generating an error, it will now load the resource, and that will be time limited to time that you specified in here. So after this time has expired, it will give you the same message that you saw before where the resource wouldn't load. Okay, one last piece that I'm going to show you is how to do the deletion of files or blobs. So if I click up here onto the container level, here, highlight the one I want and delete. You can then also choose to delete the blob snapshots as well. Okay, that concludes this video. I hope that you enjoyed it, found it useful. Please consider subscribing to my channel and liking the video. Head over to computerchess.com for further videos.